everyone. In today's video, let's understand the steps involved in responding to data subject right request. As a privacy professional, being prepared to handle DSARs efficiently and correctly is essential to ensuring compliance and maintaining trust with data subjects. What is DSAR? A data subject access request is a request made by an individual to a data controller who is the organization asking for information that the organization holds about them. You may follow these steps when handling these DSARs. Before going to the steps, let's understand the data subject rights under GDPR. Here are the primary data subject rights under GDPR: rights to be informed, right of access, right of rectification, right to erasure or right to be forgotten, right to restrict processing, right to data portability, right to object, rights in relation to automated decision making and profiling, right to comply to a supervisory authority, and right to withdraw consent. These rights are designed to empower individuals and provide them control over their personal information. Organizations must ensure that they have processes in place to effectively and promptly respond to any request by data subjects exercising these rights. Let's understand the steps to follow. The first step is to receive the request. The first step is to receive the DSAR from the individual. This can be done in writing, by email, or verbally. It is important to ensure that the request is legitimate and from the individual concerned. You may need to ask for proof of identity before proceeding with the request. Let's understand with the scenario. The Kickstart Privacy customer support team. It starts at day 1 at 10:30 a.m. Sasi, a former customer of Kickstart Privacy Corp, sends an email to their customer support department. The Sasi email with the subject line data subject access request. Hi Kickstart Privacy Corp support team. I hope this message finds you well. I would like to request a copy of all the personal data you have related to my account. As a former customer, I am keen to know what specific pieces of information you have stored about me. Kindly let me know the process and any other details you need from me. Best regards, Sasi. Same day at 11:15 a.m., Ashik, a customer support representative at Kickstart Privacy Corp, reviews the email and recognizes it as a DSAR. He responds to Sasi to ensure the legitimacy of the request and to verify his identity. Ashik sends an email with the subject data subject access request and in the email saying that, hello Sasi, thank you for reaching out to Kickstart Privacy Corp. We take data privacy very seriously and will be happy to assist you with your request. To ensure the security and confidentiality of the personal data we hold, we need to verify your identity before proceeding processing your request. Could you please provide us with any of two of the following pieces of information for verification? The last four digit of the credit card you used with us, your account registration date, the last item you purchased from us. Once we confirm your identity, we will proceed with your DSAR. Best regards, Ashik, the customer support team of Kickstart Privacy Corp. So, in this example, Kickstart Privacy Corp efficiently handles the DSAR by first verifying the identity of the requester. This step ensures that they don't accidentally share personal data with someone who should not have access to it. It also aligns with the best practices of handling such requests to safeguard the privacy of individuals. Let's go to step number two: acknowledge receipt of the request. The next step is to acknowledge receipt of the request. This should be done within 1 month of receiving the request. The acknowledgement should include the following information. Those are confirmation that the request has been received, the date the request was received, the expected time frame for responding to the request, any additional information required from the individual to process the request. Let's understand from the scenario. The scenario is by the customer support team. The same day at 3:45 p.m., after Sasi provides the necessary details to verify his identity, Ashik acknowledges receipt of his DSAR. Ashik email with acknowledgement saying that, "Hello Sasi, we are writing to confirm that we have received your data subject request on so and so date based on our process. We aim to respond to DSARs within 1 month. Therefore, you can expect a comprehensive response from us by the expected date, which is 1 month from the date you received the request." As of now, we have all the information needed to process your request. However, should we require any additional details, we will get in touch with you promptly. We appreciate your patience and understanding as we work on this. Your data privacy and rights are of utmost importance to us. Best regards, Ashik, the customer support representative from Kickstart Privacy. So, in this example, Kickstart Privacy Corp promptly acknowledges the receipt of the SASI's DSAR and sets clear expectations regarding the time frame and process. This approach ensures transparency and helps in building trust with the requester. It also fulfills the recommended guidelines for handling such requests in a timely and organized manner. Let's go to the step number three: confirm the identity of the requester. Before proceeding to provide the requested information, it is crucial to conduct a thorough identity verification of the requester, especially if the data involves sensitive information or if there has been a significant time gap since the initial request. This step is designed to ensure the utmost security and protection of personal data. Let's understand from the scenario. The scenario from the Kickstart Privacy Corp's customer service department. The same day at 3:15 p.m., after acknowledging Sasi's DSAR, Ashik realizes that he needs to further confirm his identity to ensure that the request is legitimate and that they are not disclosing personal data to someone unauthorized. Here, if you notice that we have two separate identity verifications, right? While it might seem redundant to have two separate identity verifications within a single process, there can be specific reasons or scenarios where this might be appropriate or necessary. There are potential reasons I have listed out. Different level of verification. The first verification might be a preliminary check to ensure the request is not completely fraudulent or made by bots. The second, more in depth verification could be to ensure the person making the request is genuinely the data subject or an authorized representative. The second reason, different methods of verification. The first step might involve verifying identity through basic information or documentation, while this step might involve more advanced methods such as biometric verification. The third reason, time gap. If there is a significant delay between receiving the request and processing it, a second verification might be needed to ensure that the requester's circumstances haven't changed. For example, a change in legal representation. The fourth one is sensitive information. If the data being requested is of a particularly sensitive in nature, the organization might have stringent identity verification requirements to minimize the risk of unauthorized disclosures. The fifth reason, some legal or regulatory requirements. Some industries or jurisdictions might have specific requirements for double verification, especially when dealing with high stakes or sensitive requests. The sixth one is change in request. If during the process the scope or nature of the request changes, for example, the requester asks for additional information not mentioned initially, a second verification might be warranted. The seventh one is third party involvement. If there is a need to involve or consult third parties regarding the request, a fresh verification might be needed before sharing any data with them. And finally, high risk of fraud or impersonation. In environments where there is a high risk of fraud or impersonation, double verification can act as an added layer of security. So Ashik sent an email to Sasi about the additional verification of your identity for DSAR and saying that, "Hello Sasi, thank you for your patience. Before we can proceed with your data subject request, we need to further verify your identity to ensure the security and confidentiality of your personal data. So please provide one of the following identification documents for verification: a copy of your government issued ID like a driver license or passport, but ensure relevant details like name and photo are visible. You can redact other sensitive information." The second one is a recent utility bill or bank statement showing your name and address, and please redact any financial details. Once we receive and verify your documentation, we will proceed with your request. Your data privacy is of the most important to us, and this step helps in safeguarding it. Best regard, Ashik from the customer support team of Kickstart Privacy Corp. The same day at 6:15 p.m., Sasi replies to the email with a redacted copy of his driver's license. The day 2 starts. At 10 a.m., Ashik reviews the provided document and compares it with the information on Sasi's account. The details match. Ashik emailed to Sasi saying that with the subject identity verified, proceeding with DSAR. And in the email, "Hello Sasi, thank you for providing the necessary identification documents. We have successfully verified your identity and will continue processing your data subject access request. We will keep you posted and updated on our progress. Best regard, Ashik, the customer support team of Kickstart Privacy Corp." So, in this example, Kickstart Privacy Corp establishes a verification procedure that's both thorough and respectful of Sasi's privacy. This approach ensures that personal data is not mishandled or wrongly disclosed, thereby protecting both the individual's rights and the company's reputation. Let's move on to step number 4: identify the information requested. Once the request has been verified and acknowledged, the next step is to identify the information that has been requested. This may involve searching through various data sources within the organization. It is important to identify all relevant information to ensure that the request is fulfilled in its entirety. Let's understand from this with a scenario. This time, the scenario is between the corporate customer support team and the IT team. The day two at 9 a.m., Ashik consult with Nisha, a member of the IT department, to gather the relevant data for Sasi's DSAR. Ashik to Nisha, hey Nisha, we received a DSAR from Sasi yesterday. We need to pull all the personal data related to his account. Can you help with this? Nisha replies, of course, Ashik, let's identify all the places where his data might be stored. Do we have a list of what he specifically asked for? Ashik replies, he didn't provide a detailed list of information but mentioned all the personal data related to his account. So we should look into the customer database, transaction records, support ticket logs, and any marketing list he might be part of. The same day at 2:30 p.m., Nisha searches through various data sources within Kickstart Privacy Corp. But searching through various data sources manually, it is impossible. So you need to have a software where it scans the entire data sources like data discovery and map it. So Nisa's findings are from the customer database. It contains Sasi's contact details, account creation date, and preferences. And from the transaction records, it lists all the products Sasi purchased along with transaction dates and amounts. From the support ticket logs, it shows any issues Sasi reported or queries he had, along with their resolution details. The fourth one is marketing list. Sasi had opted to into receiving newsletters and promotional offers. The same day at 3:15 p.m., Nisha reports back to Ashik with the findings. Nisha says, I have identified all the data sources that contain Sasi's personal information. We have his details from the customer database, his transaction history, support ticket logs, and his inclusion in our marketing list. Ashik says to Nisha, great work, Nisha. We will need to compile this data in a format that's easy for Sasi to understand. Let's start with the customer database details and work on our way through the rest. So, in this example, Kickstart Privacy Corp takes a thorough approach in identifying all the personal data related to Sasi. By collaborating between departments and checking various data sources, they ensure that Sasi's desire will be fulfilled comprehensively. This diligence not only satisfies the desire but also reinforces the trust that customers place in the company regarding their data privacy. Let's move on to step number 5. Provide the information requested. Once the information requested has been identified, the next step is to provide the information requested. This should be done within 1 month of receiving the request. This information should be provided in a clear and concise manner and should not include any third party information that would breach the privacy of others. Let's understand from the scenario. The scenario is again between the customer support and the IT department. The day 3 starts. At 9:30 a.m., having confirmed Sasi's identity, Ashik collaborates with Nisha from the IT department to compile all the personal data related to Sasi's account. And day 4 starts. At 10:15 a.m., Nisha hands over a well organized digital file to Ashik that contains of the Sasi's personal data. Nisha to Ashik. Ashik, here is the compiled data for Sasi. It includes his contact details, transaction history, support ticket logs, and his preferences from our marketing list. I have made sure not to include any third party information or internal notes that are not relevant to Sasi's request. Ashik says, "Thanks, Nisha. I will review the file to ensure it's all clear and concise before sending it to Sasi." The same day at 3 p.m., Ashik prepares an email to Sasi attaching the digital file. Ashik's email to Sasi with the subject, "Your data subject access request information provided." And in the email saying, "Hello Sasi, we appreciate your patience. As per your data subject access request, please find attached a comprehensive file containing all the personal data relating to your account with Kickstart Privacy Corp. The file includes customer database, your contact details, and account creation date. From the transaction records, a list of products you purchased with the transaction dates and amounts. And in the support ticket logs, any issues or queries you reported along with their resolutions. And finally, from the marketing list, your preferences for our newsletters and promotional offers. We have ensured that the data is presented in a clear and comprehensible manner. Please note we have excluded any third party information to respect the privacy of others. If you have any further questions or need clarification, don't hesitate to reach out. Best regards, Ashik from the customer support team of Kickstart Privacy Corp. So, in the example, Kickstart Privacy Corp follows a methodical approach to gather, review, and present the information in response to Sasi's DSAR. By presenting the data clearly and ensuring third party information is excluded, the company ensures the transparency, maintains trust, and upholds its commitment to data protection regulations. Let's move on to step number 6. Review the response. Once the information has been provided, it is important to review the response to ensure that all information has been disclosed in its entirety. It may also be necessary to redact certain information if it breaches the privacy of others. Let's understand from the scenario. This scenario is between the customer support, IT, and legal team. The day 5 starts at 11 a.m. Before dispatching the data to Sasi, Ashik wants to ensure everything is up to the standard. He decides to initiate a review session with Nisha from the IT and Alex from the legal department. Ashik says, "I have prepared Sasi's data for dispatch, but before we send it off, I wanted to do a final review with both of you. Let's ensure that everything is being included and that there are no potential breaches of privacy." Nisha says, "I will cross check it is against the original data sources one more time to make sure we didn't miss anything." And Alex says, "I will look over the information for any potential legal concerns or privacy issues." The same day at 2 p.m., the team gathers again after their initial individual assessments. Nisha from IT says, "All data sources match. I can confirm we have captured everything relevant to Sasi's request." Alex from the legal says, "I found a few internal notes that referenced interactions with the Sasi and other clients. I have redacted the names and the details of those third parties to ensure we don't breach their privacy." Ashik says, "Great. Thanks for the thorough review, both of you. I will make those final edits and send the data to Sasi. I am confident we have addressed his request comprehensively and within legal bounds." The same day at 3:30 p.m., Ashik sends the reviewed and updated data file to Sasi, ensuring that Kickstart Privacy Corp has met all the requirements of his DSAR. So, in this example, Kickstart Privacy Corp showcases the importance of a multidisciplinary review process. This ensures that they are not only meet the requirements of the DSAR but also remain in compliance with the legal guidelines and maintain their commitment to privacy and data protection. Let's move on to step number 7. Inform the requester of their right to comply. Finally, it is important to inform the requester of their right to comply to the relevant data protection authority if they are not satisfied with the response provided. Let's understand from the scenario. So, after the 5 days of these activities, and and weekend starts. So, after the weekend, the day 8 starts at 4 p.m. After sending the data to Sasi, Ashik drafts a follow up email to ensure Sasi is fully informed of his rights. Ashik emailed to Sasi with the subject, your data subject access request additional information. Hello Sasi, we trust you have received the comprehensive data file related to your account with the Kickstart Privacy Corp. Your trust and satisfaction are paramount to us, and we have made every effort to ensure a thorough and transparent response to your data subject access request. We would like to take a moment to inform you of your rights. If for any reason you are not satisfied with the response provided or believe there has been an oversight in addressing your request, please let us know. We are committed to rectifying any potential issues. Additionally, you have the right to lodge a complaint with the relevant data protection authority if you feel that your request hasn't been handled appropriately. Depending on your location, this may be the Information Commissioner Office or other another equivalent regulatory body. We appreciate your understanding and patience throughout this process. Please don't hesitate to get in touch if you have further questions, concerns, or feedback. Best regards, Ashik from the customer support team of Kickstart Privacy Corp. So, in this example, Kickstart Privacy Corp emphasizes its commitment to transparency and customer satisfaction. By clearly informing Sasi of his right to comply to the Data Protection Authority, the company ensures that he is aware of all avenues available to him in the event he is not satisfied with the company's response. This approach builds trust and underscores the organization's dedication to upholding data protection rights. And the conclusion, by following these steps, organizations can ensure that they are compliant with data protection laws when handling DSARs. It is important to take these requests seriously and to handle them in a timely and efficient manner to ensure that the requester's rights are protected. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more interesting topics on data privacy and protection. Bye bye.